We do begin today in New Orleans, where the Trump administration is set to deploy 350 National Guard soldiers. That deployment is part of the administration's crime crackdown and comes despite the recent ruling by the Supreme Court blocking President Trump from deploying troops to Chicago. Unlike Chicago, though, the state and city leaders in New Orleans and Louisiana are welcoming the Guard. The mayor-elect, the governor, both saying the extra troops will help secure the city ahead of the busy New Year holiday. Of course, though, the new year will bring some frightening memories back for so many people on Bourbon Street, as it will be the first anniversary of that deadly terror attack which killed 14 people. Let's get out to NewsNation's Joe Khalil. He is tracking the very latest on this deployment from the White House.
Yeah, Nichole, the Supreme Court dealt a pretty big blow to the Trump administration's deployment of these troops on Tuesday, ordering essentially that it is illegal to use the National Guard deployed to Chicago if the purpose of the Guard there is to help with regular law enforcement, regular crime prevention, and the immigration crackdown that the administration has put forward. That ruling, of course, applies to jurisdictions beyond Chicago. It would also apply to places like New Orleans, where there is a planned deployment of the National Guard. But that doesn't seem to be stopping President Trump, nor does it seem to be stopping the Pentagon, which says they are going to continue moving forward with their plans to deploy National Guard to New Orleans anyway. After the ruling came down, NewsNation got a statement from a Pentagon spokesperson, Sean Parnell, who said the following, quote, "The Secretary of War authorized the activation of up to 350 National Guard members on Title 32 status through the end of February. These Guard troops will support federal law enforcement partners, including the Department of Justice and Homeland Security, as they enforce federal law and counter high rates of violent crime in New Orleans." Now, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry is leaning into this deployment. He says that he would welcome the National Guard in his state, unlike several Democratic mayors and governors who have really pushed back on these deployments. He, in some ways, is piloting this experiment and the Guard deployment in New Orleans. This is what he said here just yesterday after the Supreme Court made its decision.
They will be there for New Year's Eve, and they're going to be there for a deployment through February, which we desperately need. Look, we know how to make cities safe, and the National Guard complements cities that are having high crime problems.
And, Nichole, so far, several of the cities in which the president has deployed National Guard, those Guard troops are still there. Just on my way in, I saw several National Guard troops at the metro stops here in Washington, D.C. We know in cities like Chicago, like Los Angeles, and others where there have been deployments, sometimes those deployments have been reduced in numbers, which is what you see in, again, places like Los Angeles, but there still is an active presence in places all around the country. So we're just a day beyond the Supreme Court's ruling. It hasn't really changed much on the ground so far.
So stuff on the ground hasn't necessarily changed, but what is the White House saying about that ruling?
Yeah, we did just get a statement from a White House spokesperson. I'm going to read it to you here. The White House says, quote, "The president promised the American people he would work tirelessly to enforce our immigration laws and protect federal personnel from violent rioters. He activated the National Guard to protect federal law enforcement officers, to ensure rioters did not destroy federal buildings and property. Nothing in today's ruling detracts from that core agenda. The administration will continue working day in and day out to safeguard the American public." Again, that coming in a direct response to the Supreme Court's ruling yesterday, 6-3, against these deployments being used the way that they are now.
All right, Joe Khalil, live for us there in D.C. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.